Alright, hello collectives. Today, I'm trying to get this height here, so I'm late because I fixed my table. There you go. This is a little better. I want to talk about, I guess, letting go. A lot of people, I have struggled with this too, also, my friends. And it's literally, I guess, letting go of somebody that you've loved a long time after a toxic situation can be the hardest. It really can. And I guess I say this because there's a situation out there that I have come across in a download that there was a connection that was severed because obviously it's always about another counterpart. And it left somebody very devastated. And I want to share my story to help whoever this may help. And God told me that possibly I should speak upon these things because if I don't talk about them, possibly I could help this person, I guess. So I'm here to help them. And I have a new hairdo going today. I hope everyone likes it. There's no filters on YouTube. And sometimes I don't think I'm as pretty. And I hope that I look halfway decent. But I tried my college try here. But anyways, it's a part of just when you've been through something that's so toxic, so mean and heartless, it leaves you soulless. And there's been a lot of connections that a divine masculine or a divine feminine has left people and just left just for the fact that they wanted to play games. They just wanted to, I don't know, just play deceitful games. And it left a lot of people in this Gemini season heartless and brokenhearted and everything else. And the thing is, it's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel those emotions. And I say that because you got to process your pain. I processed a lot of pain, and I guess I'm going to talk about processing pain today. I'm going to get my drink here. I'm covering up Coca-Cola because I don't know what kind of rules there are, but I do like Coca-Cola. Well, I like lots of pop, but anyways, when you when something hits you so hard and you've been together in connection, some of you in this Gemini season have been in connections for sometimes 20 years. There's a couple that's been in connection for 20 years. Me, I was in a connection for going on 11 years. And then somebody out of nowhere decided to play games, and I guess it's in these brutal moments that you realize in these moments that this is who they truly are. And it hits home because you're just like, wow, were they really like this? And sometimes they're out to take all your self-respect, your dignity, your relationship to God and everything, and it tests every boundary you have. And I don't understand, I guess, why things like this is done. I truly don't. And I don't understand why people think that this is okay to do. And I mean, I could pull up every card about devilish things and everything, but the end is they literally they throw away true love. They throw away a connection with somebody that would truly be there for them. They would truly do anything for them. And somehow they get with like all these different ideals. I guess it comes down to ideals. I don't understand how people could do this, and I guess I'm on the other side of this because I was the victim. I guess in November. In November, I was the victim. And I was coming on and I did lives with, I always did kind of live ones when I was painting and sketching and such like that. And life was good. And then November hits, and my divine masculine decided to tell me that he fell in love with someone else. And he kind of said in a very arrogant way that hit my soul. And then I guess when it hit me, and I'm telling you guys the story because I think it might help other people. I really do. I really think this might be information that truly helps somebody. But when he told me, it was like I felt like somebody stabbed me in the heart 3 times. So that tarot card, the three of swords, when you really embody the Three of Swords, it really feels like you were. And honestly, mine was more than the Three of Swords. Mine was the Ten of Swords, Nine of Swords, all of them. You feel like literally somebody murdered you. And he left me alone and did not care if I lived or died. And thank God I had the support of my family. I had the support of my sons. I had the support of our family and friends because a lot of them, when they found out, they just, the whole story and stuff, and they tried to reach out to him to find out if what went on. But he blocked everybody. And when I tell you blocked everybody, he blocked his own sister and pretty much didn't want to see his nephew. It was crazy. And I kind of wanted to deal with my issues separately. And I didn't want anybody to hate anyone. I just wanted to kind of deal with my issues in a whole separate manner. So I separated myself. I went a hermit mode because I felt it was probably for the best. And there was relentless attacks. You know, it was, can we be friends? Can we be friends? Can we be this? And I guess even before November, he literally, I knew something was wrong. I'm very intuitive. But I wanted to be wrong. It's one of those things where you're extremely intuitive, but at the same token, you want to be wrong. So I was like, maybe I'm thinking too much into it. This is someone else's energy. And I went about my day, and I think it was a little before October. It was in the month of October. And he tried to kiss me and stuff, and I just looked at him and my whole body froze. And I felt rigid, and it felt like the Ten of Swords every time he tried to touch me. And I guess I knew something was wrong. And even before then, I knew that he was with someone else. But no, it never got outward spoken. And then it was Halloween. And Halloween, folks, is one of my favorite holidays. And I said, could we do something on Halloween? You know, and I was thinking maybe I'm overthinking things. And he said, no, I got plans. And the thing is he was babysitting. and I'm pretty open-minded about a lot of things. I really am. And he was helping this guy out because he was in the hospital and he's, I guess, had to get a lot of operations. He even told me he was in a witness protection program at times. It was crazy. I go, "What are you, a witness protection?" He goes, "Yeah, something like that." And then it was like this whole entire time, it was like 4 months prior. I said, so November, so it was 4 months prior to November. And I just was, and he just stopped having sex with me and everything else. And hang on, I'm going to shut this door. Okay, come on, Sean. I'm trying to tape. In or out, Sean. Thank you. Okay, I'm sorry, folks, but we like stopped having sex and everything, and I was trying to think to myself, I'm like, am I that unattractive? And I was like, okay. And it was like the whole entire month, something told me a nudge: save your money, save your resources, start making sure that you're okay. Something just came to me. And this was around the time that I guess my father, it was around when my father passed, and and honestly, that's an ongoing story, folks. And here he is. This is Chong Dog. I call him Bubba. But anyways, it was around this time because I'm fighting with my stepsister's husband because I've been looking for my dad for 3 years. And it was around April. I felt him pass through me. And the last thing that my father thought of before he died was me holding dandelions, because the story, it I remember it clearly when I was younger. I used to pick roses for in the neighborhood, and people used to always get mad because people buy these roses and they don't want them picked. And I stopped picking roses because I got in trouble, and I started picking dandelions for my mother. So I used to, every day I'd give her dandelions, and she put them in water. And my mom and my dad used to go, those are weeds. And I'd go, well, I can't pick my mom roses no more, so I just go around the neighborhood and I pick dandelions for her. And my dad used to laugh, and he thought it was funny. So my mom would put these dandelions in a cup all the time for me. And that's what the last thing in April that went through my head. And I felt his spirit, and I knew something was wrong. So I kept telling my older son that's in the Navy, how you have kids, one is one way and one's the other. He's the military son. He's the one that gets business done, my older son, Brandon, and I love him to pieces. So Brandon went on even before April, my son was like a year before that, he was talking to my dad. And we were planning to go there, and I was having problems with cars and stuff and trying to get over to see him. But my son was going to take me over, and we were going to go visit him and all that, because I said I had a feeling about that my dad was sick. But in April, I just felt him go through me, and he put something aside of me. And I kept telling everybody, I was like, it was crazy. It was like I just remember that day in April when everything changed, where I felt he passed away. And then it was here on YouTube. Here on YouTube, where there was a investigator that said I should have gotten money that I did not get because I'm the last of the bloodline. And we ended up fighting, and I talked to so many lawyers, and as one lawyer, she worked for free. She did an amendment that was $1,200 for free, to get me on the docket. It's so I could, so to prove I wasn't dead, and did all this paperwork. So I went on there and I was fighting, and even I was on a three-way. We were, one of those speakerphone. I was on a speakerphone with my sister's, my dead sister's husband, and his lawyer. And I kept saying it. She's like, "Who are you?" And she thought I was lying. She straight up thought I was lying, folks. And it was crazy. And I was like, "Well," I was like, "if I'm lying," I go, "he came from Italy. He made me Italian coffee and everything." And she's like, "Wait a minute, let me check something out." And she's seen me and she goes, "Oh my God." She goes, "You are the soul heir." And it was like the whole conversation came to a still that day. And it was then that she retreated back and said to him, "I am not your lawyer no more. I am her lawyer. She is the sole heir of his estate, yada, yada, and all this." And it was, and then he kept yelling, "You got everything, you got everything," and just all this crap. And it was around this storm where I was dealing with all this, and I'm still dealing with it, but now I'm dealing with it's like it restarted. And folks, I'm telling you, my dad died last April, and it's now January. So and I'm still trying to fight for a funeral. And I guess I was on a holy mission for my dad to have a funeral through all of the storm of betrayal. Because I had betrayal from people saying that I was actually dead, to people that just said that they found somebody better than me after 11 years. And my dad literally put something inside of me. I felt changed, and everybody kept saying, and then my partner kept saying, "You've changed. You've changed." And I looked at him and I said, "Yeah, I have. I told you when my dad passed through me, he put something in me." And he did. He truly put something in me. It was like a key. It was, and I'm not saying an actual real key, but it was like a key that unlocked a door right there. I lost like 50 pounds when I was in depression for a long time, and I ended up losing weight. And I knew I had to eat, so I would drink protein shakes and stuff, because I work in medical. I truly work in medical, and I know, and I have kids, I have grandchildren, I got a lot going on in my life. I do. So I drank my protein shakes and everything, and I am Catholic. I truly am Catholic. So I guess over the years I've worked a lot. So a lot of people kind of, I always believed in God. I'm not saying that I went to church and I was going on holy missions every day, but I've always believed in God, because I used to tell everybody, how could you not believe in God? Even the devil believes in God, because the devil wouldn't exist without God. If you think about it, darkness would not exist without the light. The light would not exist without the darkness. And I tell people this because it's absolutely true. We have in ourselves dark aspects of ourselves and light aspects of ourselves. And it's those parts of us that we have to embrace, because it's your shadow self and those dark aspects that you can use for good purposes. And when I say you can use them for good purposes, my friends, you can. You totally can. Because these are the ones that, in times when you need to defend yourself, these parts of yourself, they help you. They help you defend. They help you fight. They help you go to war. You tap into your darker energy to defend what you love. So you definitely need your darkness. And you cannot deny all darkness, because some darkness is not bad. It's the how you embrace it. And I fully believe that. So I started, and being a medical person, like I said, I guess I was on here doing readings, but I never really thought to integrate myself. And when my dad put something inside of me in that April day, I looked up Carl Jung. And when I looked up Carl Jung, I just realized, wow. And I didn't know about this whole, I mean, I've heard about empathic things, but you hear about a lot of stuff. So I was like, I don't know. So anyways, in my journey, I'm going to go, I'll be right back. My friends. I got to do something real quick. All right. Okay, here's Chong. I love Chong. He's one of the reasons I've survived this long. But anyways, I looked up Carl Jung. And anyways, Carl Jung will tell you that you have to integrate to have a proper self and happiness, and just to be a whole individual, you got to go through individualism. And I started, I guess it was around April, looking up and studying Carl Jung and this whole individualism process. And I tell you, if you look at things from a clinical standpoint in your spiritual journey, it makes more sense, because we're on a physical realm, and not everybody sees dead people like I do. Not everybody does. But even when you do see the dead people, sometimes you need to you got to make sense of whatever situation that's going on around you. And you got to do it in any kind of way you can, because sometimes when things, I like to call it when the crazies all around you, you got to try to make stable and balance around you. And to make things balanced and stable, sometimes you have to ground yourself on what you kind of believe in. I guess psychology around us. I mean, there's people out there, and we all know that psychology is study of the brain and the way we think and this and that. Psychology proves that we're connected to our higher selves. It really does. People could deny it. They could do whatever they want. They could say Huga Luga is this, but no, it's our thinking. And God is in each and every one of us. That's why God knows everything you do. Because there's a piece of God in you, because you would not be living. God is life. That's it. And life means positiveness. It means rebirth. And God is death. We refer to them in dual symmetries, but God is life and God is death. That's why God is with you when you die. God is with you when you're born. And that is it. And I'm going to discuss dual symmetries. Dual symmetries is just the idea that one person can be both. The Reaper and God are one and the same, folks. It is, but God is not the devil. God does not, that is not what God is, but God is birth and God is death. That's why when you die, you see God and you see everything you've ever done. And God shows you the choices you made, and God knows how you feel, because God was there the entire time. Because if you look scientifically, They say, because when I was at the hospital when I worked years ago, they were studying. I know this sounds gross. This sounds so gross, but this really happened. I swear to God. I swear to God on my dog's life. Okay, and that's deep. If I swear to God on my dog's life, there was a doctor. They would weigh dead bodies before they died and after. And then they would say about, they would calculate mass and gases and everything. Because the one doctor, he wanted to know how much the human soul weighed. Because there's doctors out there that are religious. And this was a time when there was a lot of money for research. So you had all these people doing research money and things like that. So they always had good food. I'll tell you that. So I go over there and get me some lunch and things and such. And he said the one doctor was the soul weighed like 3 grams or something like that. It was something like that, but I believed him. He was a very holy man. He was Muslim, in fact. And I'm open minded and I love knowledge. Love knowledge. And I guess I'm getting to this point with possibly, well, everybody says that the Reaper is evil and this and that. It's not. It's God doing another rebirth. God's always rebirthing us. That's why when you die, when you have a near-death experience, that's why you could come back from death. You could be on the brinks of death, and I was. I was in ICU. I was on the brinks of death, and I prepared for my own death, and I made peace with myself. And I was brought back alive. And I thought upon that moment where the doctor said that the human soul weighs 3 grams. Maybe in that little tiny, minute, percentage of ourselves, I was thinking maybe that's God. And they say God's always with us. So scientifically proven, folks, if you don't want to believe that about the religious aspect, there's 3 grams of God in you all the time. And doctors have proven this. And Stephen Hawking, he studies energy. He studies it. He spent his whole life. I mean, that man battled many. He couldn't talk. He built his own wheelchair so he could be in this world and just do his mission. Maybe those 3 grams of God was in there, and that's how he was able to push through to the good colleges and put his research out there. And it's because of Stephen Hawking that we know, and now in his death, which I know he's at peace, and hopefully he got rebirthed to a more healthy body. I hope so. I pray he does. And I think he would, because he's done so much to help us. So much. So much. He's proven now at this point in our reality that there's multiverses. And I often think to myself, are we in the Milky Way? Are we in one of these multiverses, maybe in a black hole? Because these black holes are very, very powerful. And everybody says when they die, there's always this huge white light. But if I've studied black holes, I am very interested in these black holes. They bend time. Even Stephen Hawking, through his research, said that black holes bend time and space. It's like they're on the edge. Like there's, I don't know, here. This is just so light. All right, well, we're going to pretend this is space, right? And then there's a line right here. And then things just suck in. this line, and you can't see it until it starts sucking things in. I'm wondering if God is just one huge big transmuter that sucks in certain energy and sucks out certain energy. And it's just on a huge molecular level that we will never ever understand or get to. Ever. Maybe maybe that is just what it is. God, that's how God could destroy you or whatever, because I've studied these black holes. They vacuum it has like the vacuum effect. And it's just freaking amazing. And I don't know if any of you guys realize it out there, but there's literally hundreds of black holes around us, but we're still standing. But are we still standing, I guess, is the question. I used to think we weren't in a black hole and maybe we just escaped the black hole, but maybe none of us really did. Maybe God is the black hole and they're so mysterious. No matter what we do, we will never know about these black holes. And you don't know if you're in one because, according to Stephen Hawking research and all these great scientific minds of our time, these black holes have just been there. They've just been there all the time. And they're capable of anything and they're indestructible. They're nonstop. They could create life. And the thing is, sometimes they suck in so much stuff, they like throw it up. And when these black holes, when they throw it up, universes come out. Creation of a new universe comes out. And it's been proven in the scientific community, folks. They have actual pictures of a black hole. You can look it up on Google. You can absolutely look it up. Or, in your science channel, whatever. Given that circumstance, given that information, how do we know and they say God is everything. They say God literally is everything. And I think that if we disrespect somebody that can control every black hole in the universe and suck in what it wants and spit out what it wants at any random time, how dare we speak ill of that force? And people sometimes say to me, they tell me, I said, I love the Reaper. I love God. I love the Reaper. They're one and the same, folks, dual. Because the one that taketh life giveth life. I was told that when I died. I absolutely was told that when I died. I was ready. I actually was such a low part of my life, and this was many years ago, that I just wanted to die. I even said, let this be my last day. I seen my kids. Let this be my last day. And my mother appeared to me from the other side. It was around that time. And because my mom died when I was 19. So this was when my children, they were young, but not like young. It was like, I think my youngest Zach was like 10. But I knew that his dad would take care of him and it would be okay. So I asked him, I was like, and I was dealing with so much, and I didn't think there was any way of me surviving. I didn't. So I just said, I just asked the almighty power of the universe. I call it almighty power of the universe. I don't like to label things because that power is so freaking huge and succumbing and amazing, scientifically speaking, that there's no word for it. God is not even a big enough word for it. It's death, it's life, it's renewal, it's creating new expansive universes. It's something bigger than anything that my mind could ever wrap upon. I gave into it and just said, just let me join you, do what you want to do with me. I just want to be at peace. That's all I said. And I was on my morphine drips and the ICU and things like that because I was poisoned by a steak and I had a parasitic organism inside of me that was eating me alive. Because, and that's one of these reasons that I really won't eat rare steak. Rare, I won't let anybody cook me rare steak no more. Because that's why I literally was in that situation. And there was a lot of medicine that was given to me, experimental medicine that was given to me. I've had doctors because there was nothing wrong with me up until that point. I had a doctor that came up to me and while I was still living because he knew I didn't have much time because this organism was shut me down. And he even said, he goes, "Would you agree to take this medicine?" He said, and then he held my hand. He felt bad, and he said, and his name is Doctor Mystery, and I wish I was making this up, but my God, I can't even make this shit up. And I told the Doctor Mystery, and I didn't want to discuss with my kids. I really didn't. Because I knew that they would be telling me, "Oh, mom, blah, 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 blah." But he literally said I have probably less than a 1% chance of living. And I remember I agreed to it because, and I didn't tell anybody. I just figured since my kids were there nonstop worrying about me, I agreed to the medicine because I thought, if it did help me, it could help out other people. So, and I felt that I was at the end of my days. So I said, okay. It did bring me back slowly. I was a size 4. I was skin and bones when I came back, but it was a slow progress. But it was in those days that's when I heard about God and the Reaper being the same. If you maketh, I can destroyeth. If I maketh, I can destroyeth or saveth. And that's how it came in my head. It was so weird, and I just was like, I go, and then my mom appeared, like I said, and she told me, "Don't be afraid, you got to go back." And I said, "Why?" And I remember being on this, I guess I was in a universe and my mom was there, and I seen these beautiful numbers. They were synchronicities everywhere. I remember, I know everybody says about these angel numbers. I know, and I don't like to go upon all these cards and things. I like to see things for myself. I got to have physical evidence, and God knows I like to have scientific evidence of something I can grasp my scientific mind behind. Because if I do not have scientific medicine, if I don't have scientific evidence of some sort, I'm not going to buy it. So there was a whole universe of numbers, and my mom said, it's important. You got to go back. You're a good soul. You got to go back." And I said, "Why?" And I guess at that time, I'm going to say it was God showed me. He showed me my ex's face, and he showed me my kids. He showed me my dad, my mom. My mom said about it and said she's already passed, but my dad was still alive then. Showed my dad, and she said all of these come together, but I can't tell you how. And she showed me everyone's face, and I guess it wasn't to this moment in my life that I realized that I needed my ex to betray me to ascend for my second time. I've had 2 ascensions, friends. 2. I ascended, actually 3, sorry. I was, there was a point where when I was younger, I was in a car accident and I had a near-death experience then. I ascended, this was my 3rd ascension. And my mother told me, she said, something has to come to light. Information has to get out there. People have to hear something. And she told me, you're very beautiful and intelligent. You have to get it out. She goes, you will find your way. And I just told my mom. And at the time, I'm autistic. I don't like barely talking to people. I barely like people touching me. I don't know how I was supposed to get any message out when when I don't even like being in a room with 10 people. I don't like going to parties. I'm more comfortable talking to you guys this way because I absolutely cannot stand being around more than one or two people. And I have a list of people I'm comfortable talking about with. And if you're not on that list, I really am not talking to you. I mean, I am high functional autistic, yes. And that's it. I don't like certain, I'm really funny about things that I like materials I have. Like, I like my blankets. I like soft, feely blankets. I like everything in a certain way, a certain order. I like, and I guess I resonate more with numbers and truth, and I like to see things, but I do see numbers. Sometimes they make no damn sense to me, but I see numbers. And I resonate with just cold, hard facts with science. But I mean, I thought for the longest time that my ex was supposed to be, since I seen him in a near death experience. When I was dying, when I seen him, I thought I was coming back to be with him forever. But I realize now, because once you see something, you can't unsee it. You just absolutely. Okay, I have this hooked up. I'm gonna see if I had my camera hooked up. But I guess when now I thought I was supposed to be with him forever, and we were supposed to get married, and I was supposed to have another kid with him. I thought all of it because I was like, oh, God showed me this. But now I realize he was there to betray me so I could do my third ascension. I realized I thought I was broke. I thought, dying twice wasn't enough. Maybe that's all I was into, but maybe I was meant to have a third ascension for some damn reason. Maybe he was meant to break me. Maybe he was meant to do this so I could ascend 3 times and become who I am today talking to you. And I fully accept everything that was done to me. I am grateful for the pain. I'm grateful for Tanya. And I sense she's pregnant. I don't have no way. I have no informants. I have nothing. I just have my intuitive. God told me that Tanya is pregnant. And Tanya is his girlfriend now, and God told me that if they did not hurt me, if they did not give me deceit, if they did not throw my name through the mud, and if they did not hurt me in the manner they did, I wouldn't have broken. And I guess it was such divine timing because my dad died, and like I told you, I have told everyone, I don't know what this is, but I felt the weight of something when my dad passed through me. My dad gave me something. It was immense strength because my dad was he's a dragon spirit. My dad's a dragon, like almost like you would call the power of a dragon god. He's very powerful. He's a red dragon. He's so powerful, and he knows I was looking for him. He had to have known. Our cords was attached. I mean, you're always attached to your parents' cords especially if you're close to them. I guess you can unattach from your parents' cords, but I guess I don't know. I have to research that. Mostly, you do have some kind of cord attachment to your kids, parents. But my dad I was attached to that red dragon's cord. And when his cord got unattached and went through me, he gave me a gift and I felt so strong and it was crazy. I felt it for months and I felt a change emerging in me. It wasn't where I was turning cold. It was different. It was like I was in understanding, but I didn't know of what. Didn't know of what. I didn't know the battles that I was going to come across. I didn't know that somebody was going to say I was dead and I couldn't walk into my dad's house again. I didn't know that the person I loved for 11 years was going to tell me they were truly in love with Tanya. I didn't know. But that key unlocked when he walked out the door. And I will tell you what happened on November 1st, folks. On November 1st, I was at work and I just assumed he just went to this party. And I was like, okay. I got a text message from my work. Did you enjoy making love for the first time? I told a couple friends at work what truly happened. And then the ones that they were covering for me because they said, oh, you can't work like that, babe. And they said, I'm just going to tell them somebody died in your family. And one of my coworkers brought me home and they paid me for the day and all this crap. And anyways, it was that day that started my new beginning, I guess. I said I think I should be glad for the betrayal now because I have truly let go. Each day got lighter. Each day got more understanding. And thinking upon that near-death experience and that vision, I did see his face. I was meant to live to be with him for, going on 11 years. But everything goes in 10-year cycles, folks. After 10 years, you could go in a death cycle. So I heard 10, 10, 10 all the time. So, and the numbers 10 always came near Rob, 10, 10, 10. And I didn't understand it at the time, but now researching, and I've been researching people that are fluent with the spiritual community, and a 10-year life cycle, a 10-year cycle in spirituality, it can be death. It's a death cycle. Maybe I was meant to be with him 10 years for us to break up and ascend and glow up. Maybe that was the secret, the thing that I couldn't see because my mind is so scientific. And I did see 10 in my visions when I died, so this makes total sense. Oh my God, does this make sense? So, you guys out there that are dealing with extreme grief and stuff, and I was suicidal. I'm not gonna lie. My kids would come to check to make sure I'm okay. But that was because I personally was dealing with my father's death on top of this. I could have handled him and Tanya easily. But between all the stuff with my dad and that mixed in, it kind of made it worse. But I'm coming off a death cycle from my stepsister's husband and him at the same time. And maybe they say God works in he's dual. He's two. Two is one. Three is the Trinity. Two is one, three is the Trinity. I always heard that. Maybe those two death cycles were meant to come at one time, and I was meant to get strength to get through it. And now that I've gotten through that, I'm grateful. And honestly, today I'm telling you, Tanya, I hope you guys the best. I really hope. I know they watch my social media. I hope, Tanya, that the baby is beautiful, and I wish you guys a really good marriage. I really hope you guys do get married because I know that the person I'm coming off a death cycle always wanted to get married and have a baby. And I hope you guys in this new season coming off Scorpio season hold your relationship together. And I hope you guys experience love. I hope you experience the new baby and all of its beauty, because I wouldn't give up my kids for anything, even if, I mean, for me, my kids came in a death cycle also, but it's okay that I'm not with their father. It's really okay. I'm not upset at all. I got my children, but I hope you guys do get married and there's some kind of marriage between you guys. And I just want to let you know, Tanya, I'm at peace with everything. I'm at peace with everything. And I'm I'm just moving on. I want to find me a new person. I want to see what God's bringing me. God said that He's bringing in somebody for me. He said I'm going to meet somebody that's magnificent. That's what He told me. He said He's going to be tall, dark, and handsome. And He's going to be kind of like me. He's going to be accepting of a lot of things. God told me that this person is going to bring to me what I bring, that is going to equal, and even maybe in some ways have more money than me. But it's going to be equal give and take. So I'm excited about that. And honestly, maybe it's for the better good. Maybe, I need to be with somebody that's a medical person. Maybe he's a nurse. I don't know. Maybe this is the best thing, and it did take me time in my hermit mode. I've been not bothering nobody. I stay to myself. I really have. I've just been vibing with my red dragon dad, and I don't know what to say about my mom. She's a spiritualist. You could call her a witch. You could call her, I guess, anything you want to call her, but she's transmutes energy, and she's a master alchemizer. I tell you, even in death, this woman is a master alchemizer. Along with all my ancestors, they alchemize energy like crazy. So I guess we want to call her witch, call her witch, but I call her alchemizer. And she has taught me to alchemize energy to its extent the best, where nothing bothers me, nothing phases me. And honestly, if you can, get books on transmuting energy and start practicing it in your daily life, because transmuting energy is great. You could take your pain and use it for protection, use it for manifesting. You can use it for a lot of stuff. In this realm, you have nothing but pain that's thrown at you, folks. And to have this kind of thing, and I mean, my mother's been my teacher. My father, he's been my protector. He really has. He's been my protector, everything. And since I've technically ascended 3 times, my 4th ascension is going to be with my parents. Because 2 is 1, 3 is the Trinity. That is what I have been told when I died all those times. When I died those times. And this last time I wasn't in the hospital, but I had a soul death. So it was a different kind of death. The first 2 times were physical, the last was spiritual. But technically the ascensions count. So 3 is 1. So the 3rd time, so since I have my 3rd ascension and my soul death, I ascended with my parents. And we are now a Trinity. It's an unshakable Trinity that will, we can never be forged apart. And I'm okay with that. because I love them more than anything. My parents are my rock, and my dad's going to have his divine justice. He's going to have his 21 gun salute. He's going to have his funeral. And me and my parents, our trinity has been restored. And I have never been happier, because sometimes the people that are most important to you are not the people you're sleeping with. They are not. My dad told me this. My parents were lucky to find themselves in this lifetime and have a child, and to give me the gifts that they passed on to me, and for us to have a trinity. So we're have an unshakable bond, and it's a gift not everyone's usually given. But my dad wants me to help. My parents both want me to help everybody in this realm that's suffering from demonic things. And I like to call them low vibrational things, because that's all it is. It's low vibrational. You don't, and it works in chaos. It gives you chaos in your life, and it makes you worship things that really don't matter, like money, lust, and this and that. These things really don't matter, because when you die, all those things are not important. The only thing that matters is the alliances that you had made, and the impact and the energy that you gave in this realm. So, to all those out there going through heartbreak, I hope this helped. I really, really hope this helped and my story helped you guys, because I just feel like there's so much pain everywhere. And I want to help people get through the pain, process pain, and deal with just their journey. And I guess the only way I'm going to do it is on YouTube, because I don't know, there's just been crazy stuff. I've been getting hacked over on Facebook. I've gotten hacked several times on Facebook, so I don't have a real email, because my email got shut down, and I'm okay with it. I got a whole other email now. Instagram, I haven't been over there in a long time. Don't even, if you see me on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok, I don't even go there no more. There's just been so much activity going on in those realms. Even Snapchat, I barely go over there. Just come to YouTube, because it seems like it's the most secure network, and it's the only thing I truly trust. And I don't have an actual email, because my email got hacked. So I got a new one, and the thing is I'm not over here trying to be a superstar. So until I get some of these issues resolved with these, who hacked my email and just a lot of different things, I'm just keeping my crazy ass over here, and I'm gonna just keep speaking my truth over here on YouTube and helping who I can help. And I figure, why not YouTube? It's the best platform out there. It's the biggest, it's the most secure, and so why not? I like to go where the most secure things are in life. So, but I'm going to do a collective reading later. I just kind of wanted to do like motivational speeches and use myself as an example, because I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to say my truth. I'm not afraid to share my life experience, because it's what shapes us. If you got a scar, somebody really did you wrong, maybe it was for you to evolve. Maybe it was meant for you. This betrayal between Tanya and my ex of 11 years and this baby, it was meant so I can ascend with my parents. It was meant to. And I'm fully aware of it, because I knew he was supposed to have a baby. And that's why I was getting checked, see if I can have a baby and all this, and I can. I just thought I was the one to give it to him, but no, it was Tanya, and I'm okay with it. And I just hope And he's happy because he's getting everything he really wanted in life. He got somebody younger, and he got a baby on the way. And from what I hear, she works for the government. So I have now, well, I have been slowly getting to sovereignty, and I'm here. I'm here in sovereignty, and I'm here in true spiritual acceptance, and I'm here. I didn't think I was going to get anybody, but when God said I'm going to get somebody, I was like, "Ooh, I get somebody too." I'm kind of excited about experiencing new love, and I'm ready for new love. So, I mean, I've take your pain, own it, and just give yourself time and just tap into higher vibrations. If you need to do that through meditation, prayer, or whatever you need to do, it's all the same. Tap into your higher vibrations. I'm just here to let you know because that's what's going to get you through and see what that hurt was meant for. Every scar on your soul is a lesson for a higher purpose, and it was meant to happen to change you eternally, internally and eternally. And that eternal shift was the best thing that ever happened to me. So, and if you look at upon it in that way, it'll be the best thing that ever happened to you. The best thing that ever happened to you. But at the time, it's going to be terrible. So this is why you got to watch Carl Jung. Carl Jung videos. Oh my God, they're everywhere over here on YouTube. And they're so super helpful. Oh my God, are they super helpful. Go into integration. You have to integrate first. That's the key. First, I integrated, and there's indifference. There's all kinds of stuff, but you're on the road. Carl Jung gets you on the road to sovereignty, and maybe you'll find out you're an empath like me. I became a super empath through all this. If it wasn't for Tanya and that baby and that Halloween night of them making love for the first time and that text message, I wouldn't have really got to where I was. So thank God for you, Tanya. And I really hope, like I said, that you guys get married because you guys deserve it. You do. And I'm going to close out here and try to get this put through. And if you guys have subscribed to me, thank you. Because I did want to clarify that I'm over here on YouTube and all that because one of my goals that I have had before my ascension was a dog shelter. Because I want to help out animals. And there's a lot of things that I kind of let go of, but I have not let go of helping out my furry friends. And a lot of the proceeds that come forth to me on YouTube is going to be going towards trying to get an animal shelter together from where I live. And then maybe if God gives me enough abundance, it's going to be animal shelters in a lot of different regions. But I'm just going to start where I live because it would be easier because then I can go to my dog shelter every day, and that's where I'm going to do my existence. I'm going to be at my dog shelter every day and saving animals. And then that's it. And helping you guys and doing YouTube and stuff. But I love you guys. I do. I love all you guys. You guys are like my family because I never truly thought that someone like me, like my kids, they always joke around. They said, I don't know why so many people find you interesting. Because I always speak about, I don't know, about school and this and that. And I'm very non-party vibes, and they're better people, and I've raised them in a great way, but they just like, keep going, Mom. I don't know what you're doing, but they like to be goofy, but they'll be helping me out of my dog shelter too, my animal shelter. And because they feel a compassion like I do with animals. So, but yeah, if you subscribe to me and support me, you're supporting humanity. We're supporting animals. We're supporting just a higher vibration, folks. And you guys are family to me. You're Chong the dog family. So I want to say thank you to all of my family, and I give you many blessings. And I love this damn bell. I picked it. I'll tell you the story. I'm not a psychopath. I was at a spiritual store, and they said this bell from Malaysia gives good luck. They told me this bell from Malaysia gives good luck. And I said, huh? And they say, yeah. So I bought it. And every time I ring this bell, I get good luck. So I'm ringing this bell for us, all you guys in the Chong family, and everybody. High vibrations, guys. High vibrations. We're bringing in, this year is the best. See, I gave that. And I found it. And when I started this channel, I couldn't find it. And all of a sudden, oh, there's the bell. So, there we go. I gave you guys some high vibrations. But yeah, thank you for supporting humanity, please. Thank you, because I don't think I can't do it alone. And I'm glad you guys are here to help me. And I'm going to let you guys go because I got to get this out, and then I don't know. I'm probably going to watch other tarot card readers. I like their style. And Tarotverse. I really like him. He's like a counselor. He's literally like going to see a doctor. And he gives you good ideas, and he lifts your spirit, this Tarotverse. So I'm a member. I know. I'm a reader, and I watch other readers. I do. I binge watch these guys. And sometimes they, some of the readings are for me, and some aren't. So what can you do? But I'm gonna let you guys go, and thank you for supporting me. And I will talk to you later.